lesson was Excelsior. Excelsior is a Latin word translated as even higher or onward and upward, never ceasing to take on the challenge of the impossible. In 1841, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow's poem of the same title was published to immediate acclaim and tells the story of a young man passing through a mountain village. He bears the banner Excelsior, ignoring all warnings, climbing higher up the mountains until inevitably, lifeless but beautiful, he is found by the faithful hound, half buried in the snow, still clasping in his hands of ice that banner with the strange device, Excelsior. The band's next selection is definitely a favorite for us. The song identifies with an extremely important moment in history during the Second World War, in which the Red Army, against all odds, successfully defeated Moscow against the German invasion. In October of 1941, German troops were only 15 miles outside of Moscow, but Joseph Stalin stayed to rally morale. In November, the Germans launched a new attack on Moscow. The Soviet army held their ground and brought the Germans to a halt. Stalin insisted on a counterattack, and though his commanders had doubts, they launched their own offensive on December 4th. The Germans, caught off guard and demoralized by the recent defeat, were pushed back and began retreating. By January, they had been pushed back nearly 200 miles. Listen as this story is told through the music of Moscow 1941.
Tonight we are fortunate to enjoy the talents of several local musicians. Tater Boy was commissioned for middle school band and trumpet soloist by Sue Hohen Bates, a graduate of Winneconne High School. For many years, Miss Hohen Bates was the band director at St. Mary's Catholic School in Menasha. The solo was composed in honor of her fellow teacher and friend Mike Hale. Mike Hale was the band director at St. Mary's Central High School in Menasha and taught with Miss Hohen Bates. Local Winneconne musician and composer John Harmon was asked to compose the piece. Mike Hale was also a friend of Mr. Harmon and played lead trumpet in John Harmon's band, Matrix, for many years. Our next Winneconne tie is tonight's soloist. Mr. Jason Ron is of Adams State University, where he earned a bachelor's degree in music education. His graduate study was at the University of Northern Colorado, where he earned a master's degree in trumpet performance. He is the pastor of worship at Community Church in Oshkosh. Mr. Ron plays in many local bands, including the Water City Jazz Orchestra and the Big Band Reunion. Please welcome Mr. Ron.
Our next performers earned a start first at the District Solo and Ensemble Festival in March. They recently performed their duet at the State Solo and Ensemble Festival at UW Oshkosh, where they earned a first. Please welcome Gibson Mueller and Hunter Ward as they performed the Mallet duet, Force, composed by Karen Irvin Pershing. Producing 5 films. Tonight, we will play music from the movie Dead Man's Chest. The songs from the movie include J.B. Jones, The Kraken, and I've Got My Eyes on You.
I want to take a little time to recognize some students that have worked really, really hard this year. I'd like to start with the Solo Ensemble Festival, which we hosted here in Winneconne, and I want to say thank you to all the parents that helped. We couldn't do it without you. You make us look good. So we always hear really great comments from other schools about how wonderful our festival is, and it's because of all of your help. Right now, I'd like to name all the students that participated in the District Solo Ensemble Festival, and if they would stand, and percussionists, if I call your name, please wave so people can see where you are, okay? So these students participated in the festival. Greta Aberly, Alec Bricko, Bert Boozer, Dayton Calise, Mason Clark, Riley Dackel, Isaac Day, Averick Deshawn, Lauren DeWitt, Preston Dvorak, I think I pronounced that wrong. I'm sorry, Preston. Let's stand anyway. Hannah Engeldinger, Leah Frank, Jaden Friedel, Bo Gardner, Emily Glady, Evelyn Good, Mary Griffin, Ben Harmon, who played with the jazz ensemble with the 6th grade group, Dane Harrison, Rory Hemp, Wyatt LeBoten, Jacob Mako, Conway Matheson, Ashton Nylander, Darren Luha, Anna Manier, Gibson Miller, Jack Oscar, Abby Pence, Bennett Peterson, Lily Portman Krantz, Kirsten Prawl, Amy Ron, Grace Reindl, Reed Robideau, Lily Schrader, Paige Stevens, Josh Stone, Ella Searing, Liam Wagner, Hunter Ward, Nicholas Williams, Ashley Wisniewski, Brooke Zilgis. If they'd all stand up once again so we can give you a big hand. Your medals are on the board over here, and at the end of the concert, we're going to push it on the stage here where it's a little safer, and I would like you to make sure you pick up your medals. I have several other things that I would like to acknowledge. We have a student who played in the National Band Association All-State Band, and I would like her to come forward. That's Miss Amy Ron. Amy also auditioned for the Wisconsin State Middle Levels Honors Band, and she earned a place in that group. And I would like to present this plaque to her for her performance with that group at the Wisconsin School Music Association convention in October this past year. We also have some musicianship awards. These students would come forward when I called their name, please. There are lots and lots of really great workers in this band. They're all winners to me. They work very hard. They put up with my impatientness. And one of them even wrote a really nice note for Teacher's Appreciation Week, and it said, "I love how patient you are." And I said to the young lady, I said, "Were you joking? Were you a joke that I'm patient?" But anyway, it was a very nice note that she wrote. I would like to ask these students to come forward, please, because they've worked even above and beyond. Greta Aberly. Greta plays alto sax and tenor sax. Then I'd like to ask Alec Bricko from our percussion section to come forward. And then a member of our trumpet section, Mr. Bert Boozer. Then a member of our low brass section on trombone, Lauren DeWitt. Then a member of our alto saxophone section in this band, and then plays tenor sax in the jazz ensemble, Hannah Engeldinger. Then another trombone player that worked really hard for Solo Ensemble Festival, Wyatt LeBoten. On alto sax, Kirsten Prahl. And then Mr. Bennett Peterson. Let's give them one more round of applause, please. And then we've got some awards for the 8th grade students that have worked particularly hard. First of all, I would like to acknowledge on oboe, a really fine oboist that we have here in middle school, Rory Hemp. And he also plays bari sax too. Then I'd like to ask Jacob Mako to come forward, please. And then one of our duet members that played for you just a little while ago, Gibson Miller. And then on that Pirates of the Caribbean, there was such a pretty flute melody at the beginning, and our section leader, Grace Reindl, on flute. What would a band be without a tuba, right, Mr. Jerebeck?
Yeah.
Yeah. Reed Rubidoux. behalf of our mallet duet, Hunter Ward. This young lady has really worked hard this year. She learned another instrument, and she said she decided that she was going to have the courage to go out for jazz ensemble, even though she had never played that instrument before. And she worked really hard, and she continued to work really hard on her primary instrument too, Ashley Wisniewski. And we have one more student award left here, and this is provided by the National Band Association, which I'm a member of. I've been a proud member of the National Band Association for my entire teaching career, and it is in recognition of excellence in musicianship, citizenship, and leadership in the Winneconne Middle School Band during the year of 2017 and 2018. I'd like to present that to Amy Ron, please. And the National Band Association also has a Band Boosters Award. And to do a job like I do and have done for many years, you can't do it if you don't have great colleagues. And I'm so lucky to have fantastic colleagues to work with in my music department here. And I appreciate them so much. So if Stephanie Ron, and David Jerebeck, and Carla Hall and Abby Schmidt would come forward, please. I can't take credit for this because actually Don Hale started this tradition back when he retired about, how many years ago, Mr. Jerebeck? 12 years ago. So I thought it was a wonderful tradition, so I'd like to present these to my colleagues. Thank you so much for your help.
Many people will walk in and out of your life, but only true friends will leave footprints in your heart. Mrs. Zemlach has left that footprint for me and many others. I cannot express my gratitude in words to Mrs. Zemlach. Her professionalism, dedication, love of our community, our school district, has always shown through in her concerts, her daily efforts, and everyday actions. Since my words will not suffice, nor show how much I appreciate Mrs. Zemlach, I hope she will accept these flowers and, of course, a hug. Thank you, Mrs. Zemlach. If we all could please stand to honor her.
curious. I know a lot of my students here are second generation. How many of you were members of the band when you were in school here? Stand up. I'm just kind of curious. See where. Well, thank you for coming and thank you for letting us share and sharing your children with us.
The band's final selection was composed by Larry Meek. It is a parody of the zombie shows that are so popular today. The opening of the piece sounds like a beating heart, followed by the flute section playing a very mysterious melody. The work uses many percussion special effects, and of course we hear the trombone section playing their famous glissando. You'll even hear the brass play a little bit of the disarray, the dance of death.